What's going on, folks? Wes Pruitt, 4-Star Sports Media. Hope everyone is doing well this Monday. It's Monday, August 19th, 2024. You're sitting down at the sports buffet. And, folks, we got another loaded up plate for you. We're going to start with our burning question, poll number 1, poll question number 2. Then we'll get into some golf talk, as we had some very, very, very exciting weekends in golf, as we would see the PGA and LIV just have incredible days. Or weekends. So we will start there. Then we'll get over into some college football talk, as we do a little national talk. Look into some teams that may be not looking forward to starting 2024. Then we'll also get into some GAC, as we continue to yak about the GAC. It's the Great American Conference. We talk the Arkansas Monticello Boll Weevils. Look out for those Boll Weevils, folks. And then we'll get into Arkansas State and Southern Miss, as we preview 2 teams a week. And then our list to finish up the show will be the top 5 rivalries in all of college football. All that and more today on the Sports Buffet, right here on the 4-Star Sports Media Network. All right, folks, y'all ready to talk a little college sports? Ready to talk a little PGA golf? Ready to talk a little LIV? Are you ready to go to these events as well? If you are, head over to SeatGeek. When you do, create your login, write that password down. That way you don't forget it, folks. It's always important. Then find you any ticket, $50 or more. That will not be hard to do. Type in that promo code you see right there on the screen, 4-Star Sports Media. We want to save you money, and we will. Type in that promo code, and we will save you $20 on your first ticket purchase right here at 4-Star Sports Media, where SeatGeek is our official ticket supplier when we look for tickets, and we want it to be yours as well. All right, folks, it's time to hit that intro. Let's get into it.
The following is a production of 4-Star Sports Media.
Are you hungry? It's time to sit down and get full of sports on the Sports Buffet presented by 4-Star Sports Media with your host, Wes Pruitt.
Good morning, sports fans. It's Monday, August 19th, 2024. Where you are sitting down at the sports buffet, where, of course, folks, we got another plate full for you today. You're going to be full by the time you leave here, I promise you. All right, man. This show will run about 45 minutes, so we might cut a little short today. But let's go ahead and start with the burning question of the show, and that is, what would college football be like without college game day? What would it be like without college game day? Poll question number, and we will revisit that later in the show. Poll question number 1: who has the best pregame show in college football? ESPN, Fox, ACC, or SEC? Quickly, we'll go through this now. John, what about you, man? Who's got the best?
Okay, I'll do this by order real quick. I'll do ESPN 1, I'll do SEC 2, and I'll do Fox 3, and then ACC 4.
Yeah, that's pretty much, well, yeah. I mean, actually, mine's ESPN, Fox, and then SEC, ACC. But yeah, all right, we're getting ready to dig into it right here. But what league of golf do you enjoy more, PGA or LIV?
I'm 50-50 on it still. To be honest with you, I'm kind of I'm leaning more toward still watching a little bit of LIV, but I'm also still enjoying the last 3 playoff spots on the PGA, as we saw a little bit of drama yesterday here in Memphis. So yeah, I'm still 50-50.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, for sure, man. It was a wild weekend of golf for sure. We did have a little drama in Memphis yesterday, as we would see the FedEx St. Jude tournament or championship, part of the FedEx playoffs. It's the first of 3 FedEx Cup playoff events, and I thoroughly enjoy this tournament being part of the FedEx playoffs. I think it adds even more prestige to the tournament. But we would see Hideki Matsuyama have a huge lead and then start to choke a little bit, and then came back and won at the very end in the playoff. Won at 17 under on the day, or for the tournament. It's his 10th PGA Tour and first in a FedEx Cup playoff event, and his 261st start, and he's 32 years old, 5 months and 24 days to be exact. He moves from number 8 to number 3 in the FedEx Cup, and he has 11 consecutive finishes in the top 50, the longest active streak on tour. Prior to this, the best finish he had was 8th. So, John, you're there. You get the full pulse of how the tournament went on. Quickly, let's just go over and what's your thoughts on this tournament?
Yeah, yesterday, like you brought up, was drama after there's a little bit of controversy regarding what happened on the 12th hole regarding Matsuyama, in general, because it looked like his ball drop or his ball location was not the actual, location that he picked it up from, whatnot. So you can see a little bit of going downhill, like you said, after you call it choke, but I call it downhill, because the way that he competed after that 12th hole, like he double bogeyed a few holes, whatnot. So just to see him rally the way that he did on that birdie shot on 17, and then just capitalize it on the birdie on 18, with the capped it off, and it's crazy that we're talking about. We do over and under on Sundays. Yesterday, the plus 300 betting line was out there on the 17th hole when he was basically only had that one. He was falling back one shot by Xavier and Victor Holland also. So the plus 300 odds were in his favor, not in his favor at all. So if you placed a $20 bet, you would have won $60 if you had Hickey, to finish it off and win that tournament. So yeah, yesterday was an interesting day, like we talked about. Xavier had a phenomenal day, shot -7, I believe, for that day. But the people that had trouble, Roy McIlroy, man, who would have thought Roy would have finished +9 for that tournament yesterday total? And it seemed like triple bogey after double bogey after single bogey, and just went downhill right after that the last couple of days regarding Roy. And then, just got to give a lot of people credit, just kept on battling that Memphis heat the last couple of days as well. And yeah, it was a fun tournament just to watch on TV yesterday with the Pops.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Some additional notes: we would see FedEx #1 player Scotty Scheffler finish fourth, 14 under par. He would collect his 11th top 5 finish in 17 starts this season. He retains his lead over Xander Schauffele by 1,496 points. Beginning the final round was in second place was sitting rookie Nick Dunlap. Nick would finish tied for fifth at 13 under. He'd make a par on the 18th hole to secure his position at the number 50 in the top 50, John. He's at number 48, and he advances to the BMW Championship.
Yeah, he barely made it yesterday after that good finish yesterday. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, for sure. Then Keegan Bradley, former winner of the tournament, tied for 59th, 1 over par, began the week at 39th in the FedEx Cup, and he finished at number 50.
Ooh.
So the 2018 BMW Championship winner will make his 12th appearance in the event coming up. In addition to being fully exempt from the 2025 PGA Tour season and the PGA Players Championship, the top 50 players in the FedEx Cup qualify for all 8 signature events in 2025. Of the 50 players who advanced to the BMW Championship, 19 of them were not in the top 50 of the final 2023 FedEx Standing Cups. That's 38% of them. Amazing. So when you look at this PGA, man, I mean, that's one of the poll questions today. Which one do you enjoy more? We saw a lot of drama yesterday in Memphis in a playoff type scenario. Then we would turn around and see more playoffs in the LIV Golf tournament, which took place at Greenbrier, as we would see a return of the Masters from just a few years ago, John, with Brooks Koepka and Jon Rahm. 2 golfers that many people find to be some of the best in the world. But we would see Brooks Koepka get the win yesterday over Jon Rahm. Brooks Koepka got the win because Jon Rahm rallied in the Masters last year to get the win, but didn't happen. We would see Brooks Koepka get the win. He made 3 straight birdies on the back 9 and led by 2 shots with 3 to play. But Rahm caught him with birdies on 16 and 17. The pair would both par the par 3 157-yard 18 and play the hole again in the playoffs. Koepka tee shot left him with about a 25-foot putt, while Rahm found the back bunker, leaving him with a awkward lie on the short side of the green. He blasted out about a 23-foot past the pin, but after Koepka missed his birdie attempt, Rahm could not save par, and Koepka would get the win. Rahm would say, quote, "We've gone head-to-head a few times, and it's always fun. It's always a fun one for the spectators, John. It's fun for us, and obviously more fun for whoever wins, but it always seems to come down to the stretch. Last time I had a putt to win it on 18, and this time he was the one that ended up winning." So Jon Rahm now overtakes Joaquin Niemann for season-long points. They're going to battle for the individual championship next month at LIV Golf Chicago. Koepka has an outside shot at the bonus paying 3rd place. So as you know, there's individual competition as well as team competition. When you look at the teams, obviously, Smash GC won. Koepka shot a 63, as we know. Ripper GC came in third. Legion 12 that's Jon Rahm's team, came in 3rd at 42 under. Fireballs GC was in 4th. Range Goats GC, I love their little logo. It's just a little goat. But LIV Golf, man, a lot of fun. Enjoy that golf tournament a lot.
I have an over to under question for you regarding LIV Golf.
Okay.
Phil Mickelson, how much longer does he got? A year and a half, 2 years, or how long? Or let's put it over and under about a year.
Oh, I think it's over. I think Phil plays another 3-4 years.
Oh wow.
Especially. I mean, with him being in Live Golf, it's different.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. I mean, you got people on your team that can pick you up if you're playing. You're playing poorly. I do. I think. I mean, because it's more relaxed. I mean, he's out there in shorts, man. These guys are wearing shorts. It's just like they're playing a regular Saturday, Sunday at their local club.
Right.
I mean, that's really. And then there's music. There's like hype music. It's just fun, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, man. Real quick, let's go ahead and yak about the GAC real quick. Let's talk about the Boll Weevils from Arkansas, Monticello, John. First off, let's start there. Boll Weevils. What about that freaks you out on a football field?
Just a mascot name in general.
It's a creepy looking guy. If you look at our cover photo today, it's the Boll Weevil. He's like this.
Oh.
It's the Boll Weevil. His name is, I want to say his name is Weevil, I believe. But they were 2-9 last year, man. Picked 8th to finish in the Great American Conference this year by the media. 2-9 in do what?
So the guy's creepy, looking in a good way. But,
Dude, he is, man. I'm telling you, he is creepy. They lost 9 straight, John. Lost 9 straight. We're 1-4 at home, 1-5 on the road. They started with 2 wins back to back, one at Northwestern Oklahoma State and one at Southwestern Oklahoma State. Yes, that's 2 schools, different directions. Then they would lose 59-19 to Harding, team we talked about recently. And then they would go on the road. Then they would play Ouachita Baptist, team we talked about last week, lose 45-25. Lose to East Central University. That's another Oklahoma school, by the way. Lose to them 35-28. Lose an absolute barn burner in their rivalry game, John, to Southeast Oklahoma State 22-21. They would lose to Arkansas Tech 24-10. Lose to Henderson State University, team we're going to talk about next week. It was a pink out game, by the way, last year. Lost to them 42-14. Lost to Oklahoma Baptist 28-7. Lost to Southern Nazarene 41-14. And then got drummed in the Battle of the Timberlands by their arch rival, the Southern Arkansas Mule Riders. Yes, you did hear that correctly, folks. The mascot is a mule rider, and it's literally a cowboy on a mule. That's their logo. We'll talk about them too. South Ark. Southern Arkansas. They're right there in Magnolia, Arkansas, for those of you that don't know. But, yeah, man, you're yakking about the GAC. When you look at this team, John, their quarterback's really, really, really good. Just going to be honest with you, man. Quarterback can really, really, really go. He can sling it. He can play. My question is this. Can they win ball games? I mean, their schedule's not easy again. When you look at them, they're not a bad football team. They've just got to be better. You know what I mean?
Right. Looking at their, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, just looking at their background, but you just brought up, can they win? Because right now I'm just looking at a little bit more history on them. But the real question is, like you just said, can they win?
Yeah, I mean, head coach and also athletic director Hud Jackson's been there for a while. He's starting his 12th year at the helm. He was named the 25th head coach back in 2011. In the last 11 years, UAM is 44-88 under Jackson. His 44 wins are now the second most all time in Boll Weevil football history. I'll say that again. In the last 11 years under Hud Jackson, his name's William. They call him Hud. He is 44-88. That 44 wins is number 2 all time in Boll Weevil history. Let's just think about that. 44 wins in 11 seasons. You can do the math there, right? 2019 led the Boll Weevils to a 5-6 record, but it was highlighted by a 4-1 record at Cotton Bowl Stadium. That is the name of their football stadium, by the way, folks. Cotton Bowl Stadium. But yeah, man. Several of the players have gone on to the next level, including Eric Coker, Jalen Tolliver, DJ Stevens, Cole Sears, and Keith Reynolds. The last three that I named all played for the AFL CFL. But man, I'm telling you, quarterback play is good. They can play. Can they score? Yeah, they can put points on the board, but they got to be able to stop somebody. This team is one to keep an eye on. I mean, really, man, the quarterback play alone is going to be really, really, really fun to watch because he can sling it. When I say he can sling it, let me get his stats pulled up from last year. Let's see. He's played in 11 games, was 61%, threw 7 interceptions, threw 17 touchdowns, longest of 86 yards, was 183 of 299. At that level, that's great numbers. At that level, that's really good. 2,383 yards. What stands out to me is the 17 touchdowns to 7 interceptions.
Right.
That's not bad numbers right there. So you take that, you move it into 2024. I think this team can do something. I mean, I think they can get some wins. I would think. We'll find out. I know that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get at least 4 or 5 wins.
Literally in 3 days. Yeah, their season starts in 3 days, which is crazy to me. But the green-white game is Thursday night, John. Their season starts in 3 days. Green-white game's Thursday night, August the 22nd. And then they get cranked up September 5th at home, a Thursday night game against Northwestern Oklahoma State, team they beat last year to start the year. Can they do it again? Can they get another win and start the season off well? They got Harding week 3. They got Ouachita week 4 on the road at Ouachita, home against Harding. Speaking of the GAC, next Wednesday is their media days. We will be on the GAC media days. We'll have more from that as well. John, let's take a quick break, man. When we come back from this break, though, you wanna howl a little bit?
Not me, but no. The future looks bright for Jones.
No, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you dare do it. Don't howl. Don't howl. Don't howl. Yeah, we're going to take over the Red Wolves and take a look at how their season may unfold in 2024. All that and more right here on the Sports Buffet. Presented to you by 4 Star. Welcome back, folks. You are sitting down at the sports buffet, about to get full of sports. John, we're talking the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Head coach Butch Jones. A lot of jokes I could immediately just make jokes there, but I'm not. I like Butch. He had some things he did at Tennessee, the winners in life and stuff like that were just kind of different to me. Yeah, it was a little bit different to me. But 6-7 last year, John, as Arkansas State would make a return to the bowl season for the first time since 2019. They open their season on August 31st as they host in-state foe Central Arkansas, 7 p.m. at 6 p.m. Central Time, folks, on ESPN Plus. Not just ESPN, it's plus. But these in-state foes have met on 4 occasions since Arkansas State joined the Sun Belt for the conference's inaugural football season back in 2001. Dadgum! That sucker's been around for that long. The Sun Belt's been around since 2001. Wow. Had forgotten that. Sorry. The Red Wolves 3-1 against the Central Arkansas, including a 40-21 victory last season. John, when you look at them on a schedule basis, they got a nice little non-con schedule, man. I really actually like it. They go Tulsa September 7th, road trips to the Big House on September 14th, and then they go to Iowa State on September 21st. Alongside, you always are going to play the Georgia State's conference teams, Georgia State's. They also play Old Dominion, which would be that's a cool matchup right there. I like that. What's your thoughts on this Butch Jones led Arkansas State football team?
Well, you brought up 6-7 last year in the first 2 games. They were calling for Butch's feet to go.
Man cried on the sideline.
That second game of the year, right after that first game of the year, we played Oklahoma. They're down 28-0 after that first quarter, and he's over there crying like he just brought up, and he's like, God, where's the effort that we put into the offseason? Going into, I know you're playing at Oklahoma in a game that you've never been to. Did y'all not drink your orange juice or eat your cereal this morning, or what's going on? Because you're down 28-0 within like 7 minutes of that football game, it seemed like. There's just no effort going into that game. And then you play your rival, you call it, the University of Memphis, the second game, where the first couple of drives you seem like you could at least maybe compete with Memphis maybe in that game because, Memphis always seems to struggle down in Jonesboro for whatever reason that is. And Memphis finally woke up and won the game 37-3. But people were calling for Butch's head like right after that game and said, we got to get Butch Jones out of here. What can we do to get him out of here? But his buyout was like at $16 million to buy him out. Right after that game, I think it was. And I'm like, dude, they're not going to get rid of Butch this early. You can't get, because one thing is, like Butch brought up, the attendance in general in Jonesboro is not the same. Butch Jones is like, we got to pack this place out whenever we can. But they finally showed up later on in the season, it seemed, because the attendance seemed like they were, out there and whatnot. But to finish the year 6-7, is quite an accomplishment after the rocky start that they had, starting 0-2. And then they beat Stony Brook and beat Southern Miss at UMass and whatnot. But I like to see their defense improve as well. And they returned 10 starters on offense this year, and they only returned 6 on defense. But it's going to be tough again this year to start out, so hot. And then Butch Jones' seat, like we brought up a few minutes ago, are going to be like, all right, Butch, you're 2-2 now going into South Alabama, and you got to win some games on the road, bottom line, in this conference.
You do.
And I think this year could be the year, but if they go 6 or 7 wins again, are they going to be calling for Butch's head again? Because it's a different year, whatnot as well.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think if you make another bowl game, I mean, think about it. They went to 9 straight bowl games from 2011 to 2019. Then they had that 3-year gap, and then they're back into it this year again. when you look at it, I mean, you got junior redshirt junior running back, Jaquise Cross is back. He had 716 yards last year, 7 touchdowns, as well as you bring back sophomore quarterback Jalen Rayner. I like this kid. This kid can sling it. He can play 2,543 yards passing, 17 touchdowns last year. Plus, you bring back Corey Rucker, 705 wide receiver. Corey Rucker, 705 through the air or on catching the ball, 2 touchdowns. Courtney Jackson, 689 yards, 7 touchdowns. Plus, you bring back your top 2 tacklers. In safety, Travion Thomas, who had 91 tackles, 2.5 for loss, and redshirt senior linebacker Charles Wikeles, 89 tackles, 8 for loss. So, I mean, you think about it, John. Butch Jones is bringing back a roster that brings 5 All-American or 5 All Sun Belt honorees from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they had a conference best 9 players named to the 2024 preseason All Sun Belt team. When you look at this team, you look at the roster, then you turn around and you look at the schedule. I mean, yes, there's Michigan in there. Yes, there's Ohio State in there. You shouldn't lose to Central Arkansas to start the season. By the way, Jeff Vincent, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate you, man. Yo, go Tigers, by the way. I know that season's getting ready to start, and you are pumped. Also, if you need jerseys, man, Maine, hit that guy up. Jeff will get you taken care of for sure. Central Arkansas, though, I mean, I expect that to be a win, right?
Well, I mean, you would think, yeah, but the thing is, though, with Arkansas State, I was going to bring up another interesting point regarding Arkansas State in the offseason. Their kicker entered the portal. Noah Grant entered that portal.
Yeah.
From Memphis, Arkansas State kicker. He entered the portal. So another thing about Arkansas State, their kicker has no stats really the last couple of years, who is now a junior in Aiden Ellison. He's a junior, but he has really no stats out there to show. So it'll be interesting to see how the kicking game, for Arkansas State goes, because they usually use a different kickoff guy rather than kicking the football, as well. But another thing for Arkansas State, though, to get these wins, the offensive line has to improve by running the football as well, because their offensive line is a veteran group. They weigh 330, they weigh 325, they weigh 315. It's a veteran group. They got to get better by run block. They have Arkansas. I want to see Arkansas State like the old team when Coach Roberts was there, where they had at least 150 yards running the football and 250 passing, whatnot. So this is the team that's going to be interesting running the football like you brought up, but the offensive line has to improve for the run block to be successful. And that's one reason I think they were lacking last year as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about when Butch took the team over, they were a 4-7 team at that point in time. They were not good. He's gone. He was 5-19 in his first 2 seasons in Jonesboro, but the 6th-year offensive coordinator is Keith Heckendorf. He spent 14 through 18 at North Carolina, so he was with our guy Larry Fedora out at North Carolina, John, as a quarterback's coach. And the 4th-year DC is Rob Harley, who spent the previous seasons as the linebacker coach at Pitt. Special teams coordinator is Josh Conklin in his 2nd year, who spent the last 5 seasons as the head coach at Wofford. So, Butch Jones, as we know, has knowledge. He's not a bad football coach. He's won everywhere he's been, literally. Mm-hmm. Central Michigan, Cincinnati,
Tennessee.
He won at Tennessee. I mean, before Josh Heupel got there, Butch Jones was their most successful football coach.
Right.
Since Philip Fulmer. That's not a hot take, folks. You can physically look that up. That's a stat. You're welcome. Brick by brick, no pun intended, but brick by brick, Butch Jones has continued to evolve with the game of college football, and he's done it in a very successful way. Let's go through this. Let's go through this schedule real quick, John, because we got to talk about another team that. Well, Arkansas State. Oh yeah, exactly. This is a tale of two sides here. All right, Arkansas State Give me Central Arkansas to not win that game. Arkansas State's going to get a win there. Yeah, y'all freaked out for a second. Y'all thought I was about to go for what I was doing yesterday. Nope, not today.
I think Central Arkansas makes it competitive for at least 2.5 quarters because the way they were so successful in their league, whatnot. But I think Arkansas State pours it on in the fourth quarter, make a comeback, not a comeback, but a win in the Jonesboro, make it 1-0 to start the year.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's the 28th meeting between these two teams. Arkansas State does currently trail that 13-12-2. They last met in 2021. Arkansas State trailed 7-6 at halftime, but came away with a 40-21 win. The Bears were 7-4 last year, John, but they've not made the playoffs since 2019. All right, up next is Tulsa Golden Hurricanes, 7th meeting between these two programs. It is currently tied 3-3. A lot on the line here, John, but it's the first time Arkansas State is hosting the Golden Hurricanes, and yes, they are Golden Hurricanes. That stadium whips. Trust me, wind will whip in that bad boy. First time hosting them since 2002, John.
Wow, unbelievable.
Butch Jones is 8-4 in non-con games against the spread in Jonesboro. What's your thoughts on this one?
Sneaky game, but makes you wonder what the point spread could be for that game because you never know what Tulsa could go to the table after week 1. But I think the point spread could be Arkansas State -7 to start, maybe because you don't know what kind of Tulsa team you can see going to Jonesboro. Sneaky game, but I think Arkansas State pulls it out by like 7 or 10 points.
Okay, yeah, I got Arkansas State winning that as well. Starting out 2-0, heading to the Big House to take on Michigan on the 14th of September. This is the first meeting, and since 2009, Arkansas is 0-6, or Arkansas State, sorry, is 0-6 versus the Big Ten, but 5-1 against the spread. Arkansas State is on a 1-7 against the spread run as an underdog of 20-plus points or more, with their lone cover coming at Ohio State plus 44 in 2022 when they lost that game 45-12. I obviously know this is not a win for Arkansas State. I'm not predicting any type of just incredible shocker at the Big House. I don't think it's going to be a revisit of Appalachian State knocking them off back in the day. I could be wrong. They could walk in there and beat those guys. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't care what NCAA sanctions are being put on Michigan. Their coach could be suspended for the whole season for all I care. It doesn't matter. I don't think Arkansas State. That's not a shot at the Red Wolves, man. I'm just telling. I think Michigan's going to be really good this year again. Give me Arkansas State to take the L there.
I agree with you. I think it's just that Michigan just has too much high power, on both sides of the football. They run to the football. And nothing against Arkansas State, but I just want to see a competitive Arkansas State team going to the Big House. Not like the same Arkansas State team that went to Norman last year and lost 73-0.
Yeah, very much so. Another first meeting in back-to-back weeks. They play Michigan and they play Iowa State. Iowa State comes off a bye. But first-time meeting, Arkansas State lost to Oklahoma last year, 73-0. But in a 20 upset, they did beat Kansas State 35-31. Arkansas is just 1-3 against the spread as a double-digit dog last year, and 3-15 as they enter 3-15 straight up as they enter 2024 on the road under Butch Jones. Did you hear what I just said there? 3-15 on the road under Butch Jones.
Make it 3-16 for me.
Yeah, no doubt. Make it 3-16 for sure. Also, coming into 2024, Arkansas State has been an underdog in 14 straight Sun Belt football games. Wow. I bring that up to say that they have a bye week on September 28th, so that's good. Because then they have homecoming against South Alabama. I would have put this on November 23rd, Red Wolves. Not gonna. I will get there as to who you play then, but I would have made homecoming that game. Probably not the Jaguars of South Alabama, but hey, I'm not making your schedule. Arkansas State's lost 5 straight versus South Alabama. They were down 14-3, lost 21-14. Man, they're 3-1. Their last 4 Sun Belt home openers. I do like that trend, but I don't. Give me a loss here, John. Give me 3 straight losses for the Red Wolves.
I like the coaching matchup in this game.
Better too.
Major Applewhite versus good old Butch. But you know what? I will give Arkansas State a dub because they have a bye week right before it, and these 2 games non-conference, Iowa State and Michigan, get them ready for that South Alabama team going to Jonesboro, and I think Arkansas State gets the dub.
Okay. Up next, October 12th, they travel to Texas State. They've won 7 out of the last 11 meetings straight up versus Texas State. They led 10-3 last year in the fourth quarter, but did allow Texas State to come back. John, Texas State won, or I'm sorry, Arkansas State. Man, give me a win.
Wow.
I don't think it's going to be easy. I mean, look at the score from last year's game between these 2 teams. By the way, I don't think it's going to be easy, but I think Arkansas State gets the win.
You know, I'm
go
going.
Go ahead.
I don't see it, bro. I hate to say it, but
Yeah.
You go into an environment that is top notch in Texas State. You go into you get 3 tough road games in Michigan, Iowa State, and now Texas State. I know Texas State is a league game, but man, I hate to say it, but this is the year that Texas State is going to make some noise, I think, with Coach Klein as a head coach. And I think Texas State is just a better team all the way around. But I could see a shootout in this game. I very well could be, in that game. But Texas State at home, one of the toughest places to play at in the league, I got Texas State winning that game.
Yeah, the Bobcats are. Some people are saying the Bobcats are a sleeper playoff team.
Right.
I mean, they're definitely a team to watch for sure. Definitely a team to watch. Up next, they travel down to Hattiesburg. Talk about the team we're going to talk about coming up next, and that's the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. They're not going to lose to Southern Miss. I honestly think they're going to beat Southern Miss. Yeah, I think they beat Southern Miss. I'll just leave it at that. I don't think I really don't have anything else on that. I mean, when you look at it, it's the 6th meeting as FBS foes. Arkansas State's 1-4 straight up, 4-1 against the spread. Last time they were it was the first meeting as Sunbelt foes in 2022. Arkansas led that game 10-7 at halftime and 19-7 going into the fourth quarter, but allowed 13 fourth quarter points and lost 20-19 despite being up to giving up 2 turnovers.
I think
so.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll tell you why I don't really think it coming up with Southern Miss, but go ahead.
I think if Southern Miss wins this game, it's their Super Bowl of the year. That's one reason I think Arkansas State wins in Hattiesburg, but it's going to be ugly because you don't know what to expect regarding weather-wise down in Hattiesburg down in October because it could be hurricane season in October again.
Very true. Very true. Up next, man, they got Troy coming to town. Arkansas State has dropped 3 of the last 4 to Troy. The home team is just 2-6 against the spread in the last 8 meetings between these 2 teams. I don't know what to expect with Troy. Summerall's not there anymore. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I mean, we'll find out real quick if we're as Memphis fans because we got them early on the schedule. But I don't know. I mean, I think you're getting ready to go on a bye. Arkansas State's had 4 straight games. They're back at home to close it out. Then they got a bye. Give me Arkansas State, man. Give me Arkansas State to get their 4th win of the season.
I mean, Troy does have kind of like a week and a half to prepare for Arkansas State because they do play on October 15th, and Arkansas State plays on October 19th. But I'd love to see Butch win this game, but I think that extra few days for Troy gets them to prepare better for Arkansas State in this game. But I could very well see Arkansas State winning this game because the game is in Jonesboro. But I think with Troy's giving a few days extra to prepare for an Arkansas State group is why I'm picking Troy to win this ball game.
Okay. Arkansas State's got a bye November 2nd, and they travel down to Louisiana to take on the Raging Cajuns. Heading into 2024, Arkansas State has not been a favorite versus the Raging Cajuns since 2018. John, give me Arkansas State to get the win in Louisiana, coming off the bye.
Yeah, tough environment, but I can agree with you because it's a bye week, right? To prepare, you got a week and a half or so to prepare for like a Louisiana Cajun team. It's not gonna be easy, but I think you do win that game as well.
Yeah. Georgia State up next. Arkansas State is 6-2 straight up versus Georgia State. Last time they were at Georgia State was 2021. They trailed 14-13 at halftime and lost only 28-20, despite being, the over is 6-2 with an average of 75 points scored between these two teams. By the way, folks, give me Georgia State to get the win here.
I think you brought up a good point. You don't know what they're really thinking of Georgia State throughout the year because Georgia State ain't the same like a couple of years ago, but it's gonna be tough because you're playing in Atlanta, whatnot, and I just don't know what to expect on Georgia State this year because they're so up and down the last couple of years. But like you brought up, the game's at Georgia State, so I'm gonna go with Georgia State to win this game. But I won't be surprised if Arkansas State does pull it out. But I'll pick Georgia State because they're at Georgia State, I guess.
Yeah, I think that most people look at the last 4 games of their schedule and see 4 wins. I don't. I don't think they can get 4 wins in that last. I mean, some people may say 2-2. Up next is Louisiana Monroe. Going back to 2010, Arkansas State has won and covered 14 straight meetings versus Louisiana Monroe. Last time Arkansas State wins the dog and trailed 16-10 third quarter and scored 24 straight points and won 31-24. Arkansas State. If there's fantasy football out there, fantasy college football, and you can pick defense or something, pick whoever's playing Louisiana Monroe. And I don't mean that in a negative way, Warhawk fans.
Yeah.
Monroe, Louisiana is a cool town. Trust me. I used to live right down the road from that bad boy. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. That stadium's cool. It's hot down there, but the stadium's pretty cool. It's a neat little environment. They got incredible pizza. You can get Johnny's Pizza right there. It's incredible pizza. Anybody that was down there in 2019? But they're not. Louisiana Monroe is not going to beat Arkansas State. Give me Arkansas State, man.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. I just think Arkansas State's got more high-powered offense. There's no shit at Louisiana Monroe, but it's Arkansas State at home, man. This is, it's going to be ugly for the first half, and then Arkansas State might just hold off just a little bit and waste some time out the clock, whatnot. But no, Arkansas State, this is the year they beat Monroe again.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I think they definitely knock off Monroe. And then you close up with Old Dominion, second meeting ever. First meeting came back in 2022, where Arkansas State would lose 29-26, despite having the edge in yards by more than 67 And Arkansas State is 3-1 against the spread at home, or was 3-1 against the spread at home in Sun Belt games last year. Oof. Eesh, this will make Arkansas State 1, 2, 3. This would make them 5. This will be a bowl eligibility game in my fantasy booking right here. Give me Arkansas State to get the win at home to make them bowl eligible.
No, you had them 7-5 or 7-4 going in this game right here, bud.
Oh, did I?
I believe so because you got them beating Central Arkansas. You got them beating Tulsa,
right?
Losing those two against the Big House and Iowa State,
right?
And then you got the bye week right after that, and then you had them losing to South Alabama,
correct? Beating Texas State,
right? And
beating Southern Miss, losing to Troy.
Okay, so you got them losing to Troy. Okay, my fault.
Yeah, losing to Troy. Losing. Oh, yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Still doesn't matter. Give me a win. Give me a win right here.
8-4 for the Red Wolves.
Yeah. 8-4. I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, I'm telling you, looking at their schedule, it can be done.
I get them 7-5. I get them. God, I'm so torn between this game right now because it's the last game of the year, whatnot. But I'll go with them with a win. We give them 8 wins on the year as well.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, man, Butch Jones.
You're in year 4 under Butch. You got to see their jump and wins. You got to see. This is year 4. If you don't win 8 or 9 games with the offensive high power that you got back on offense, with this schedule to get you the non-conference schedule, I understand you got losses and those losses, but those games are going to help you in this conference this year.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, man. Let's quickly run through Southern Miss right quick. Will Hall starts his 4th year as head coach and 4th year at the helm of the Golden Eagles. He's 13-24, 1-0 in a bowl game, but 13-24 overall, 7-11 home, 5-13 on the road. They went 3-9 last year, 2-6 in conference play, tied for 6th in the West. They did bring in Tate Rodemaker, former Florida State quarterback, folks. Don't forget about him. They brought in Tate Rodemaker. They also brought in a guy named Drake Clark. Anybody remember that name? Name ring a bell, anybody? He played at Memphis, Drake Clark did. And they bring him in as running back as well. Man, I think, and of course, Drake was there last year. But I think this is going to be fun to watch, man. They bring in Larry Simmons. He's a sophomore out of Ole Miss, so he's getting in some talent. But then you go look at the schedule. Here we go, John. You ready?
3-9 last year, though, too.
3-9. Start off with Kentucky. 5th meeting. The 5th meeting is going to be a loss. The last time there was the opener in 2016. And old Southern Miss pulled the upset 44-35. Since that upset, Ole Miss is 0-7 against SEC teams straight up, 2-5 against the spread. Last year, Southern Miss was 2-5 as a double-digit underdog. They're not going to. No, Kentucky's going to beat Southern Miss open season.
Kroger Field's going to be rocking, and it's going to be probably like a 6:00 game on SEC Network or something like that. And I think Kentucky rolls by like 20 points.
Yeah. Up next, man, Southeast Louisiana. Southern Miss is 18-3 versus SELA, but have only faced them once since 1969. John,
that's crazy, man.
That is nuts. Last meeting came in 11, and Southern Miss would win 52-6. The Lions dropped to 3-8 in 2023. No, Southern Miss gets a win here. Southern Miss gets a win here. Yeah, 1-1. Southern Miss gets a win. All right, September 14th, they host South Florida. This is a cool little matchup, actually, man. I like it. They host South Florida. They've won 3 out of the last. The Eagles, Golden Eagles, have won 3 out of the last 4, but have not faced the Bulls since 2004 when Southern Miss would win 27-20. They were 1-4 against the spread. They being Southern Miss were 1-4 against the spread last season in home games against FBS foes. So, no, South Florida's going to win that game. I think South Florida's good. I really, really do. Alex Golesh and that company and that team they're loaded. They're loaded. Yeah, give me South Florida, man.
Yeah, give me the Bulls. I think it's going to be ugly. I really do. Nothing against Will Hall and Southern Miss.
Yeah.
Southern Miss has only got 4 returning starters on offense, man. And I think it just shows where South Florida's going to be an improved bunch and they could compete for the AAC this year. South Florida rolls in this game.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. Up next, they go to Jacksonville State, third meeting all time. Previous 2 came back in 1937 and 1946. Southern Miss is just 2-8 in non-conference road games since 2018 and have not been a non-conference favorite since 2017 at Louisiana Monroe. Jacksonville State, the Gamecocks, get the win here.
Yep, because the game's at Jacksonville State, so I'm going with Jacksonville State in this game.
All right, Jacksonville State gets the win there. Southern Miss goes on to a bye, so I've got Southern Miss right now at 1-3. They go on a bye, bring Louisiana to their house. Since 1998, Southern Miss is 8-0 straight up and against the spread against Louisiana. Last season, they went to Louisiana with a 2-7 record. Were tied at 14 apiece at halftime and scored a touchdown with 1:26 left in the game to go to overtime and win it there. I don't care. Give me Louisiana to get the win this year.
I'll give Southern Miss the win because they're coming off the bye.
Okay. Yeah. Up next, they make a trip down to Monroe, Louisiana, place we were talking about earlier. First meeting came back in 1982. Southern Miss has won 6 out of the last 8 and have won and covered both meetings as SBC foes. Give me Louisiana Monroe to get the win, John.
Hey, you're full of upsets the last 2 days.
Give me Louisiana Monroe to get the win. So that's going to put Southern Miss at 1-5 heading into their homecoming game with Arkansas State.
You know what? The game's at Monroe, like you brought up. Interesting environment, per se. But I give me Arkansas State, or not Arkansas State, but give me Southern Miss to win this game. But it's going to be ugly.
Okay. Up next, Arkansas State. Arkansas State wins. I'm sorry. Sorry, Southern Miss. Arkansas State wins. I think Arkansas State rolls them.
That's 5 losses in a row for them for you. Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I got them losing to Arkansas State because I had Arkansas State in the other schedule. So, yeah.
Up next, October 26th, right around Halloween. That's spooky season, John. And I think that trip to go play James Madison is going to be spooky for the Red Wolves. Give me James Madison to roll Arkansas State.
Southern Miss, my friend.
Southern Miss. Sorry, my bad.
It's okay.
They're on my mind.
You think about Butch way too much today.
Yeah, well, I was just looking at the schedule. So yeah.
Give me James Madison.
Yeah.
James Madison just too good at home.
Yeah, 100%. James Madison's going to roll, and I picked James Madison to beat Southern Miss when I went over to James Madison too. Right. So another bye week. Then they welcome Marshall to town. Southern Miss does hold a 8-6 series lead despite being CUSA foes and now Sunbelt foes. This is the first time these two teams have met since 2018. The last 2 meetings have been decided by a total of 3 points. Give me Southern Miss to break the losing streak and get the win against Marshall at home, coming off the bye.
You know what? We seem to agree on that, but the only reason I'm saying Southern Miss wins this is because they're coming off that bye.
Yeah. Up next, at Texas State, No, Texas State is going to throttle this football team, and I don't not being negative when I say that. This Texas State team's good, and I know I had Arkansas State beating them in just a few minutes ago, but that doesn't mean anything. This team's still good. Give me Texas State big, 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 big.
Yeah, I can agree to that because I think Texas State is the better team.
Yeah, I think Southern Miss loses their last 2 games, South Alabama and to close the season at Troy.
Wow. Oh man. I want to see Will Hall succeed first of all.
I do too, and I don't mean this as anything against Will Hall. I just think this is where Southern Miss football is. Nothing against Will.
Yeah, it's nothing against Will Hall. I want him to succeed at Southern Miss because I liked him while he was here at Memphis. I liked him while he was wasn't he at Tulane for a little bit too?
Yeah. He played quarterback at Northwest Mississippi too. So I mean, let's not forget that.
I just think Southern Miss is just not the Southern Miss as old, man. They're not recruiting. Yep. It's nothing against their recruiting strategy, but they're not recruiting in the right spots at times. They're relying on a transfer portal. They're not going out and recruiting like they used to.
Yeah.
And I think, like you, they lose the last 2 games, but they finished the year 4-8 on my watch. But is Will Hall going to still be the head coach during the year? That's my main thing because I know how Southern Miss fans are. If they're not winning, they want the next coach right away. And it showed last year regarding Will Hall's hot seat. I want him to succeed, don't get me wrong, but 4-8 this year, Will Hall. And I hate to say it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they go 3-9 again. That's tough, man. It is tough. All right, it's time to get to our dessert portion of the show, John.
Time for ice cream.
So I'll let you go first, man. Give me your top 5 college football rivalries of all time.
All righty then. Other than the obvious, for the first 2 of them, that a lot of people are going to be surprised by, what happened to the Nebraska-Colorado matchups, the last game of the year on Thanksgiving weekend?
Mm-hmm.
The Eric Couch's days where he's playing in the snow in Colorado, whatnot. So Nebraska-Colorado from back in the day is one of them. Number 2, I decided to go with Missouri and Kansas for football.
Mm-hmm.
When Chase Daniels went into Arrowhead and played Kansas back in the day. And that was an interesting game, in general. Number 3, I love the Oregon State matchup, especially with the uniform combinations for both teams. So I'll do the Oregon State next. Number 4, I'll do Michigan, Ohio State, just because I love how Kirk and Desmond Howard go at it on College Game Day, representing their own schools. I'll do that background because that's been on my bucket list for so many years to go to. So that's one reason I'm putting it in an all-time rivalry as well. And then my number 5, I could do a homer route and do Florida, Tennessee, or Florida, Georgia, or Alabama, Auburn. But I'm going to go from the old days when Memphis played UCF back in the day. I know people are saying that's not a rivalry per se, but just the way they competed against each other in the AC championships and in the regular season like they did, I'll go with the Memphis UCF. They don't call it as a rivalry, but I think it could have been one of those rivalries that we kept each other on the schedule. Because they hated each other with the passion.
Yeah. Yep. All right, top 5. Oh, no doubt. Their fans do too. Well, some of them do. Top 5. I'm going to start at 5, go down to 1, John. You ready?
Yep.
Number 5 is the Iron Bowl, Alabama, Auburn. Big time rivalry, always a lot of fun to watch. Number 4 is Florida State, Florida. Always enjoyed that rivalry game. Those two teams, You talk about two people that hate each other. Them folks hate each other. Number 3 is Texas and Oklahoma. I don't think you can compile any list that doesn't have them. Number 2 is Ouachita Baptist and Henderson State.
Okay.
Battle of the Ravine. And I have this in there as all time. I have it labeled as all time for a reason. When you go back and look at all time, I don't think you find a rivalry as deep rooted as that one is. And number 1, John, I was going to do Oregon State. But I think I got to go with the clean, old-fashioned hate. And that is the Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech and the Bulldogs of Georgia, because these two programs absolutely hate each other, and so do the players, so do the coaches. It doesn't matter how those teams' seasons have gone. When those two teams meet, that is the only game that matters, period. So, good stuff, man.
Give me one that you have from old school back in the day, then.
Wisconsin, Minnesota. The battle for the old, what is it? The battle for the old wooden jug or whatever. Yeah. The axe. Is it the axe? Man, I don't know. You know, the old college football games, you used to could go play for all these old trophies. And that's what I used to do. I used to go play for all the trophies, and it was a lot of fun. Blake Hogue said, "Oh, great. Oh, Blake, I forgot about that one." Blake Hogue said a underrated one is Pitt, West Virginia, the backyard rivalry. Incredible point, because that is a definite hatred between those two teams. Thank everybody watching and listening today over at 4-Star Sports Media on the social medias. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody's support as always. If you do like the show, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, click notification buttons. If you'd like to sponsor certain shows, certain segments of shows, reach out to us. We will be more than willing to sit down with you and formulate a tier plan that works for you, the customer. So, for all of us here at 4-Star Sports Media, John Sturdivant, I'm Wes Pruitt. We appreciate everybody watching and listening. Tomorrow, we will be back with more as we get into Arkansas Hockey Club. That's right. We have the rosters. I got a text message this morning from someone that sent me the rosters. We have the rosters of D2 and D3. We'll get into it more tomorrow right there on the Ice Hogs podcast, talking all things Arkansas Razorback Hockey Club. Wednesday, we'll be back on here, and then we'll be in the Tigers' Den talking Memphis football, as football is right around the corner. Plus, we got soccer, got some wins this week, too. A lot of stuff happening right here on the 4-Star Sports Media Network. Plus, Blake Hogue, Ashton Wilson, and the gang will be back Thursday for Hogs Happy Hour. Plus, this guy over here might be popping up Saturday with a little high school talk. So, you never know, folks. Hey, we're pushing 7 shows a week, 1 per day, at least 1 per day, right here on the 4-Star Sports Media Network. Folks, as always, stay classy.